These buttons. Hello, hello. We are back again for another episode of Read Aloud with Erica. And we are so excited because we have another amazing author here with us. And her name is Rita Bhandari. Hello, Miss Bhandari. How are you doing?
Good. I'm doing great. I'm happy to be
Awesome.
here.
Yes, yes, yes. We love, love, love showcasing authors all over the world, local and far, far, far away, wherever we can get them, because we know that there's so much that needs to be said and everyone has a story. So we are super excited to have you on the show. And I mean, I let me just go ahead and see what all these things that I have to say about you because you seem pretty amazing and this book seems pretty amazing and I think we all want to hear more about it. So you are French Canadian and South Asian, that's your background. And so being biracial, you kind of went through this period where you were super curious about race even at a young age. So at that point, from what I've seen and what I've read, you started kind of studying the science and the history of race, and it kind of inspired you to become an educator and an advocate for it, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so you've been teaching for 10 years. What
Mhm.
grade?
I've taught from grades 1 all the way to high school. I'm qualified to teach all, but mainly the little ones. So right now I'm teaching grade 2.
Ah, that was my favorite. And then kindergarten was after that. Probably, man, it's a toss up between kindergarten and second grade. Woo. You've been teaching for 10 years. You earned 3 certificates from the Equity Literacy Institute, and the Professional Diversity and Inclusion Certificate from Cornell University, right? So, and right now you're in Canada?
Yes. Yeah. I live in Toronto in Canada. Yeah.
How is that? I need to visit. I need to like, because I've never been there before. Like, I don't want to go see. I want to see
I'll
everything.
show you around. Yeah,
Yes.
definitely come to Toronto. Yeah, I love it. It's a great city, and I know a lot of people know about it now. Maybe not in the past, but yeah, it's an amazing city.
Have you been there for all your life, or have you
Yeah,
been
well, I've
around?
been in the suburbs, but now I'm currently right in the city.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you are married and you have a toddler.
Yes, I
Oh my
do.
gosh. A little boy?
A little boy, yes, and I have another on the way that's due in June.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Oh wow. Okay. So, oh my gosh, how have you had time to write a book?
It's been busy. It's been busy, as you know. Yeah.
But yes, yes, yes. Busy, busy all around. So we are so excited to have you on the show. So excited to showcase this wonderful book of yours. It's called The Ace Compeers. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Because I've never heard the word compeers before. So could you tell us about kind of the origin of that and what's going on in the book?
Yeah, so I was trying to think of an original name, and I really wanted diverse characters. I wanted a lot of representation in there, but I also wanted to make it clear that these characters are all equal. So I found the definition of compeers as of equal rank or status, and I thought it was really exactly what I wanted out of this book, because the purpose of writing this book is to showcase that, although we're all different, we should be all given the exact same value, and treated equally, and we are of equal value or status to one another. So I really wanted to put that in there in the book. So I explained it a little bit at the start of the book. So if anyone's confused, hopefully my readers will see that. But yeah, I know it's a word that's not commonly used. And I just wanted it to be a little bit unique as well.
Yes. Well, I like that because you've seen, I love books of different culture and just being exposed to cultures and being able to honor those cultures and learn more about them. So when I find something that is different that I've never heard before, it intrigues me. I want to know more. And that's something that I want to inspire the kids and anyone who's watching to not reject the unfamiliar, but to be like, oh, hi, how are you doing? Instead of, I don't think so. But just having that exposure to it and embracing it instead of running away from it. So I really enjoy that you put those types of things in your book where it's like, this is unfamiliar, but I like that. What do you know? What do you know that I can learn?
Exactly.
Yes, yes. So, we're going to just get into you reading your book, because I don't know about anybody else, but I I want to hear it. I want my bedtime story for tonight. Like, come on through.
Okay, great. So this is my first time using Zoom. I didn't prepare. I prepared for the interview questions, but to share my screen, is that what I need to do to do the
No,
read?
do you have the book with you?
Oh, the actual book with me.
Yeah.
I can go get it quickly.
Yeah, that's fine. And then we can my production manager can cut here and then just cut to you going for it. So
All
yes,
right.
go for it.
Sorry about that. One
Oh,
second.
you're fine. You are just
Okay, I'm back.
all right.
um,
So we're gonna cut and then start again at that point.
sure.
All right. So I we want to know a lot about the book. So I'm without further ado, I'm just going to allow you to read your book. And because I want to hear all of the goodness. I feel like the authors read it better than just me by myself. So go for it. Let's get ready.
Great. So the ace compares the secrets of skin color.
And if you don't show it, that's fine. We that's why we get the book pages so that we can pan it, even if you don't need to, you can't put it up.
Okay.
Because if you're holding it up, I can't see it.
Yeah. I can get rid of the background. All right. The Ace Compares the Secrets of Skin Color by Rita Bandari. These are my characters, these Compeers. And as you can see, like I mentioned, there's a lot of diversity here. And I made a point to explain what the meaning of compere means at the bottom here. So compere is a noun that means a person of equal rank or status, equal, peer, or companion. Part 1 are instruction manuals. Open your eyes, ready your ears. It's time to learn with the Ace Compeers. Look, Aang has something to say. What's our mission today, Aang? Asked Bosma. Well, says Aang, today we're going to learn all there is to know about our physical characteristics. All humans have a lot in common, says Aang. We all have eyes, hair, hands, and loads of other stuff. These are called similarities. We're with you so far, says Bosma. Great, Aang continues. We also have lots of differences. For example, we all have different heights, hair colors, body types, and skin colors. Differences, you see. Talk about the new stuff, Aang, says Riley playfully. Okay. All of these things you can see, the differences and similarities, are called physical characteristics, says Aang. Wait, says Bosma. So everybody is different and the same? Is that what you're saying, Aang? Yes. Aang is less sure now. On the inside, we all have blood and bones and organs, but we look different on the outside. Bosmo's confused. Erica thinks blood is gross, but Riley has something important to say. Makes sense to me, says Riley. Of course we all look different. It would be very confusing if we all looked the same. You guys know about physical characteristics, right? That we all have the same things, that we all have the same things that are the same, that we all have some things that are the same and some things that are different. See, says Riley, they already knew that. Great, says Aang. Well then, if they already know, then our mission is complete. I'm starving. Who wants to go grab lunch? I'm thinking the Caribbean roti place at the end of my street, says Aang. Let's go. Hold on, Aang, says Erica. You're not getting away that easy. We're these Compeers. They want answers, and we're here to deliver them. We can do better, shouts Erica dramatically. Don't worry, guys. Erica to the rescue. Okay, Compeers, let's start at the very beginning. We get our human characteristics from our genes, explains Erica. A gene is an inheritance unit of a cell that we get from our biological parents. Huh, says Riley. I'm hungry, moans Aang. That's a lot of big words, Erica, says Bosma. We don't know what you're talking about. Ha, sorry guys, Erica laughs. I get carried away sometimes. Let me try and explain it again. Okay, so the thing that makes us the way we are, including what makes our similarities and differences, is found in our DNA, explains Erica. We all have great big instruction manuals, and everyone's manual is different. Our manuals are very long and detailed, and some of the pages are instructions for what we look like. There's a page for everything. One page for eye color, one for height, one for skin color, and so on. That's what our genes are. Cool, says Riley. Do you think if I put my favorite purple jeans on, my eyes will change color? Riley whispers to himself, I knew my jeans were magic, they say. Not those kind of genes, says Erica. The genes we are talking about today are part of our bodies. They're so tiny we can't see them. What has this got to do with physical characteristics? Asks Bosma. Well, our genes carry information about lots of different things, including our physical characteristics, what we look like. If we want to know why people look different or similar, we need to understand more about our genetic instruction manuals. One of the pages in our genetic instruction manuals is for skin color. It's only one page in the ginormous manual, but skin covers the whole body, so everyone notices it. Let's focus on that. It's one of the biggest differences people notice about each other. But it's not such a big difference, says Erica, because skin color is only one page. Two people with light beige skin can have more differences in their manual than a person with light beige skin and a person with dark brown skin. So, two white people can be more genetically different than a white and black person, asks Bosma. Erica has a sparkle in her eye. Whoa, look who's using big words now. Yes, that's right. Two people with peach-colored skin can have similar instructions on the page about skin tone, but have a lot of differences on all of the other pages. Ah, so skin color doesn't make us that difference on the inside, asked Riley. That's right, says Erica. Oh, Aang says excitedly. I was learning about water. Water, interrupts Riley. What's water got to do with it? You know how snow and ice are both water? Asks Aang. Yes, says Bosma. We aren't talking about water, Riley giggles. Well, Aang continues, one is white and fluffy, and the other is see-through and hard, but they're both water. They look different, but they are all made of water. So people with different skin colors are like snow, ice, hail, slush, all different looking, but made of the same stuff. Oh, on the other hand, water and vinegar look the same, but are actually quite different. Trust me, I know from personal experience. Aang shudders, remembering a time when he accidentally drank vinegar. You can't just think they are the same because they look the same to you, he adds. Aang, your mind works in mysterious ways, Bosmo giggles, but I understand it. Let's check out our manuals. Hair color, ear size, other traits. Yes, Aang's manual explains a lot. Hey, Bosma, we have loads in common. See, says Aang, like ice and snow. Explains like a true member of the Ace Compeers. Now let's keep going. Here's another cool fact about your skin. Did you know that your skin is an adaptation? Do you know what an adaptation is? When we talk about adaptations in science, we're usually talking about other animals and not humans, explains Erica. That's odd, whispers Riley. Wouldn't we want to know more stuff like this about ourselves? I mean, it's all about us after all. Can you think of another animal that has adaptations? Continues Erica. Can we hurry up? Complains Aang. I'm so hungry for roti, my stomach's gonna go eat itself. I've got this one, says Basma. I learned about these cool birds called finches from the Galapagos Islands. The shape and size of their beaks changed over hundreds of years because they adapted to the foods that were available where they lived. Some finches had long pointed beaks for picking seeds out of cactus fruit, and other finches lived somewhere else, and they needed shorter beaks for eating seeds off the ground. Lucky finches, getting to eat food, grumbles Aang. Wait, says Riley, looking confused. If our skin is an adaptation, that means it changes based on our environment. But didn't Erica say that skin color is part of our genetic manuals? How can skin color be an adaptation if it was written in our genetic instruction manuals before we were even born? Yeah, Bosma says, we all live in the same place. Why don't we all have the same skin tone? And why do different shades of skin even exist in the first place? Guys, I'm so hungry, I'm gonna pass out, whines Aang. Okay, Aang, Erica smirks. Let's take a brain break and go get some roti. But when we get back, you guys had better put your helmets on because without them, your minds will be blown. Yes, shouts Aang, relieved. That's just part one of the book. It's quite a long read because it's an educational resource. So
Yeah.
I'll stop it from there.
That's
Little teaser for the second half of the book.
That's pretty cool. I like
Thanks.
it. It's a pretty
Thanks.
cool adaptation. Learning
Yeah.
of how our genetics and our makeup, and it's very like understandable. I like that it was put in the form of like an instruction manual. We have lots of pages to it, but it kind of tells us all these different parts and pieces. Although some parts might be missing because some things that make us individuals may be different from other things. So I like that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, thanks.
Man, we're gonna have to keep going for part two. You have to get those books out. So what made you want to write this book? I know your background made you curious, but how did you come up with this idea?
It's basically from two things. The first is what I've learned in the past, and also my own personal experiences. So, with what I learned in college at the University of Toronto, I studied sociology and anthropology, and I learned a little bit about race. And then fast forward 2 or 3 years ago, out of my own curiosity, I just wanted to learn more. So I decided to take more courses related to race. And I got several certificates on how to teach about topics like race and also concepts like stereotypes and bias and anti-racism. Like you mentioned earlier, I have a professional certificate of diversity and inclusion from Cornell University, simply because I wanted to learn more about it and I wanted to make a difference somehow. And at that point, I had been teaching for about 7 years. I'm a teacher and I'd been teaching for 7 years. And I noticed that there was a huge lack of resources when it comes to representing diverse people, and more so resources that explicitly talk about race and teach about race. So not only are children unaware of these facts about skin color, but adults as well. And there wasn't really a book out there that taught children about race in a more easily digestible way, in an entertaining way. But also a book or a resource that teaches adults and gives them the proper background and information on how to navigate these really important conversations to make them well equipped. So in my book, there's a part that's for the adults, for the parents, and which is why the book is divided into two. So for example, there's the main goal of the book's main ideas, and then there's also a few guiding questions to help parents navigate these really important conversations that should be had, in every family, every classroom. So I really wanted to see something out there like that, and because to my understanding from what I've known, it didn't really exist, so I decided to write it myself.
That's so cool. That's really cool. And it is definitely needed everywhere actually, because you're right, I don't think I've really ever heard anything like that. In the library, I've seen books about the body, but nothing specifically about like race. It kind of teaches you about the different parts that you have, what's there, all that stuff, but nothing placed quite like the book, the Ace Compeers. So that's much needed. Thank you. Um, so when you write, because I don't know if you have more than one, but when you write, is there something that you surround yourself with to kind of inspire you for that moment, or do you just completely go off experiences?
um, so I kind of do both. It's more my unique outlook that sparked it, and my lived experiences, like you've mentioned. And I'm biracial, and I've had a little bit of, as I learned more about it, I kind of had the vocabulary and the education to put two and two together and put the connections together. And I've learned that, I faced a lot of colorism or microaggressions and things like that
Mhm.
growing up. And when I was a lot younger, I had a lot darker skin tone, and, being told not to go out in the sun and things like that. And it just, when you reflect back on your life and you think about it, you kind of put the connections together, and it made me a bit curious about, why is it that things are this way and people are saying these things. So I've looked into it a lot more, and I've always also been curious about the science behind things. In my spare time, I watch science documentaries and things like that, just for fun, just to out of curiosity. And so that's why I decided to put a lot of science in it, because a lot of the excuses made in the past were due to science.
Mhm.
There's a huge difference between races because we're genetically different, and that's not true at all.
Mhm.
Based on the evidence out there, not at all. So I just wanted to clear that right from the foundation, right from the basis of, like, start them early, start them when they're young, and explain to children, like, really, no, that's not what it is. It's really a social construct. It's a cultural, not to say that race isn't important, it's an identity because of experiences in history and what's happened in the past. But genetically, there's really no no major difference at all, and it's important for children to know that.
One of my sisters, she is very much a documentary person. So, you might have to start naming some of those documentaries because when she sees it, she's gonna be like, "Where did she go? Like, where is it? Is it on Netflix? Where is it?" So we might have to start sharing some of those names because I know she'll probably want to watch them. She is totally that person that
Yeah.
loves documentaries, and she'll come to me and tell me about something gross that she had talked about. And I'm like, I'm totally trying to be with you, but where did you find this?
Yeah, that's so
Um,
funny.
so yes, definitely you probably could be super cool with her because she's just like that documentary person. Uh, okay, so was there any books at a young age, like in your childhood, that inspired you to maybe want to become a writer, or inspires you now, and even you things that you share with your son now as he grows?
Yeah. So to be honest, it's funny because when I was younger, my parents didn't really read many books to me. My dad would make up stories on the spot and things like that. So I didn't have that. But yes, growing up as an adult and reading stories to my son, um, it was a little bit of me realizing at the time that there's not that many books out there that have diverse representation when I started thinking about writing this book. And also, once more and more books came out, there's a really cute book, Sesame Street book, that's called We're Different, We're the Same. And
Yes.
yeah, I love that book. And I've read it to my son several times. So yeah, it's a mix of both. There was a huge gap missing, and I really wanted to fill in that space. And also, the books that are coming out that I read to my son now are definitely inspiring.
That's awesome. So how many books have you written so far?
I'm currently finished my second, so I'm done. This is a series, so the second book hopefully will be out in the fall. The manuscript's done, the illustrations are pretty much done. So that's in the works. And then I have my ideas sketched out for the third book of the series as well. And the second book will be this one's more about the science. And the second book is looking more at the history of race. So why is it that we have these race categories that we use today? Where do those come from? Why are there 4 or 5 categories, and why are they so blurred, and there's no real understanding of like where one race ends and the other begins, and who made this up? Why is it the way it is today? So they kind of explore that aspect of it.
That is awesome. We can't wait to see it and put it out there. Okay, so we're kind of coming toward the end of the um interview, which is probably the saddest part every time. But I wanted to know, where can our readers and families find your books? We'll be giving away one of them, but where can they find them if they want to come and find you and get that book?
They can get it on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, and through the publisher's website, which is called Friesen Press.
Friesen.
Friesen Press.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Could you spell that? Because I don't know if we have that one.
Sure. FRIESENPRESS.
Gotcha.
And the
Okay.
easiest way is probably through Amazon and Barnes and Noble.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so last one
Mhm.
before we end. Sad. Is there anything that you would like to say to aspiring writers and young readers out there who's possibly wanting to do something that you're trying to do, want to learn more, know more, or even just begin their writing?
I would say to first look inwards and discover and follow your passion. So try new things and then find your purpose and what really stands out to you. And that voice inside, or that feeling that leads you towards your purpose. Try and find that. I know it sounds cliche, or I've never really had that outlook in life until quite recently, where I just realized, I wanted a lot more. I wanted to have more of an impact, and I really had to look inwards and reflect on how to do that. And if you're passionate about it, it'll happen. It doesn't have to be in a spiritual way. It just means that if you're truly wanting to make a difference in some way, or you want to make you want to create something, be creative, lean into that feeling and figure out how you can do it in your own unique way, through stories or books or whatever it is that makes you happy.
That's so I love asking that question. That's probably one of my favorite questions to ask every author, and because I get such just a beautiful, inspired answer, and man, I'm like, my heart happy. So we have come to the end of the interview. I just want to say thank you for allowing us to listen and to learn about what you're passionate about and to showcase your book. Thank you for coming and sharing with us.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really happy to be here.
Yes. Oh my gosh, it's been so busy. We made it though. We
We
made it.
did. Yeah, we did.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I hope you will stick with us for our next episode of Read Aloud with Erica. Dun, 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 dun.